Hello, I'm Chris Jessley from vKernel. It's going to be my pleasure to show you the new features we've added to our Capacity Analyzer 4.0 product. We've added some really cool stuff, better metrics for CPU, memory, disk I/O, storage, as well as some recommendations. So if you have a current problem in your environment, we'll give you some recommendations on how you can remedy that, as well as role-based access and some other cool things. So if you take a look at what I'm showing you here, and if you've seen our product at all, the 3.1 version, you'll see that it looks fairly similar, although I do have more tabs across the bottom here. So what we've done is we've broken everything out individually by type of resource, and then I still have an overview screen that I'm showing you right here that basically lets me look at all my resources, where my problems are sorted by criticality, and then I could of course mouse over any of these and get the more detailed statistics. Okay? So if we go here into CPU, I'll show you some of the more detailed stuff we're getting. So instead of just strict utilization, we're also tracking peaks, and I've grouped all the statistics together that are relevant. So you can see here a overall utilization for CPU, a peak, a CPU ready metric, and peak. So this really lets me know, granularly speaking, where my problems are and all the resources that are together. So for example, the first virtual machine here that I just highlighted has a overall utilization of 48%, but it's starting to have a high CPU ready number. 5% is not bad, 30% is a pretty big number there. So I can see there's something going on with that particular statistic, whereas the one below it is at 58% utilization. Pretty happy there. There's no CPU contention, the CPU ready number is low, all of that. So I can double click any of these items and get a more detailed look. So if we look at the first one again here, we'll click on it here. We'll give you a summary of the problem, the statistics on the right-hand side of the screen that are related to that, as well as a recommendation on how to resolve that. And then down below here, get over to that, we have the individual chart that tells you the utilization for CPU, for the CPU ready, as well as the cluster metrics there as well. So it gives you really good data. Okay. If we go to memory, you'll see that we have the same type of statistics here in that we're getting a overall utilization and a peak. We've added swapping and ballooning metrics to this, so two very key metrics that you need to track in order to really understand where your memory problems are. And for storage, we also have more detailed information. This is very interesting, is I give you a overall utilization number for the virtual machine. So this virtual machine is using 74% of the storage allocated to it from the OS perspective. But then I break it down by individual drives. So you can see that 60% is utilized for the root. I have a partition here, that drive 2, that is 100% utilized. And then on drive 3, which is my database, that's 57%. So we'll give you very good metrics around individual partitions and how much utilization they have. Okay. Not available for the host or the resource pool because not really relevant at that level. Disk I/O added some very good information here. So what you're looking at is the latency and queue latency of every data store that's on this particular host or all the hosts in this cluster. Right? So I can get very good information there on where I'm having a problem, where I'm not having a problem. So looks like local SCSI is a problem for me here. But then we go down to each individual virtual machine and we start measuring throughput with a peak, swapping, and then bus resets and command aborted. So very good metrics around disk I/O that will let you know very quickly where your problems are. And of course I can double click on any of these and get a resolution for that as well. So if we go back here and show you some of the other resolutions. So if I select a host and look at a CPU metric, for instance, it tells me that this host is having a periodic problem because the following VMs are contributing to it. And it again breaks it down on a very detailed level for all those virtual machines and what they're using. And then you could drill down even further and get a resolution for all of these. And then we also go in and take a look at memory recommendations as well. So those are some of the key things that we've added. Within the future bottlenecks, it looks pretty much the same here. But we do have a drill down. So if you have a virtual machine that has a alert level in 2 days, let me pick this one right here. So this one virtual machine right here, the 3.1 EE, if I wanted to, I could double click on this any of the metrics and look at exactly what's going to contribute to that alarm. So where do we expect it to be, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. So that's good information here. And some of the other stuff we've added is a role-based access. So I can go to any level on the tree over here on the left, go ahead and set a permission. I can then go and choose which users have access to this resource. So I could essentially limit the amount of items that my particular users can see and all the rest of that. So that's a good addition that a lot of our customers have asked for. And then the last thing is going in and setting importance. So I can go in and declare a cluster, host, VM, resource pool, whatever that is, as a higher level importance. So when we do our calculations on is it a problem and what the resolution is, we'll take the criticality of that object into effect. So that's pretty much all the new stuff we have in Capacity Analyzer 4.0. Would be very interested to have your feedback on that. We have a forum on www.vkernel.com. There is a forum link up at the top right there. And you could, of course, email us at support@vkernel.com if you have any questions or problems. Thank you very much.